Hi guys and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to discuss James Cameron writing, or at least struggling to write a Terminator 7. Terminator 7. Now, James Cameron, as we know, is wrapped up until at least the early 2030s with the Avatar many sequels. So for him to still... 'cause he mentioned this a few years back that if I was to do the definitive Terminator follow-up, number 7, whatever, I would dabble in AI. And I get that, like, AI is a massive factor in the terms of, like, machines and mankind and all that kind of stuff. So I can see the Terminator franchise going down that route. I really can. As much as people are sick and tired of seeing AI, it's inevitable. Like, it's inevitable, right? So, speaking with CNN, so I've taken this little segment from Cultural Crave on Twitter. So, James Cameron says he's struggling to write Terminator 7. And this is a quote from Cameron himself. Cammy, big Cammy. I've been unable to get very far on that. I don't know what to say that won't be overtaken by real events. We are living in a science fiction age right now. That's literally it. That's literally it. It's just a tiny wee quote saying that I don't know what I want to do with it, but we are in a science fiction age right now, which we are. A lot of... I always... like, it's funny though, because I joke about this all the time, like, Star Trek got a lot of things right. Like, the on-screen things, little phone, everything. It's fantastic, right? So we're in the Star Trek era, right? We have been for a while. We're certainly not in the flying cars, Back to the Future Part 2 shenanigans yet, which I'm like, how not? But yeah, James Cameron, let's just break it down, right? James Cameron, in between all the Avatar, 8-foot Smurfs, he is still pursuing a Terminator 7 or a new Terminator film, right? Or a new script. He's been involved in the last few, but I was speaking about this actually to Thomas Waddle, my good friend Thomas Waddle, on his podcast the other week there, the Whiskey Sour Hour. Check it. I'll link in the description below. And we on our latest episode there, or his latest episode, sorry, that I was on. We spoke about the Terminator franchise briefly. We spoke about James Cameron, as he said, like, James Cameron just needs to do it himself, because obviously he was involved or overseen or godfathering 2015's Terminator Genesis, where he was basically paid to praise it and say, oh yeah, it's great. And then afterwards, it came out and it didn't do too well, and this and that and the next thing. Fans weren't a fan of it. I fucking hated it, which is a first for me when it comes to the Terminator franchise, because I'm very much like, oh yeah, more is better, blah, blah, blah. Genesis was terrible. It had good parts to it, but it was overall terrible. So we were saying that, we were joking about that after Genesis came out, James Cameron was just like, yeah, it's a piece of shit. Yeah, And then he got heavily involved in the next reboot, which was more of a direct sequel to the second one, which was a real Terminator 3, Dark Fate, with the guy that directed Deadpool, the first one, Tim Miller. And James Cameron helped write the script and was producing it. He was heavily involved in it, because obviously Linda Hamilton was back, and Arnie, who's always back, was back again. And I love... Dark Fate. Was it needed? Was it necessary? No. But was it good? Fuck yes. Was it the best Terminator sequel since the second one? Not difficult, but yes. I mean, I've got a soft spot for Terminator 3 and Salvation, etc. But, like, Dark Fate was probably the best of, like, post Terminator 2. T2 Judgment Day. But then... and James Cameron was just like, yeah, it's the best thing since my iteration of the franchise and the character and story and all that kind of stuff. And Tim Miller has been public about this, but he just, like, shot the film down after it came out, because he was just like, yep, another piece of shit. Even though he was involved in it with the story and this and that and next thing, he still slated it and was just like, yeah, piece of shit, fucking this, fucking that. And Tim Miller was just like, yeah, that motherfucker threw him under the bus. And you're just like, whoa, okay. So Tim Miller will not be doing another Terminator film anytime soon. And that's what I said on the Whiskey Sour Hour. And as I said to Thomas, I said, what James Cameron needs to do, and I think he's working on one, is he needs to make his own Terminator film. If he wants a Terminator film that is as equal to his original 2 or surpasses his original 2, he needs to make it himself. He needs to write it, and he needs to direct it. You know, and is it going to happen? He probably won't direct it, because he's too far, you know, sucking off the 8-foot Smurfs. Like, he ain't got time to direct a Terminator film, you know. And also, as well, Arnold Schwarzenegger, post Dark Fate, said, like, because obviously Dark Fate originally was going to be a new trilogy and that kind of stuff, but then it got cancelled, and, you know, it wasn't a box office success. And Arnold Schwarzenegger himself said that he is done, and that's him, he's done. He's retired the character, that's it, the end. And that's where it gets fans sort of kind of like, oh, Jesus, give me the show. Because you're thinking, can the Terminator franchise carry on without Arnold Schwarzenegger? Such as, can the Elm Street franchise carry on with Robert Englund? In my opinion, yes. Like, the Terminator, I mean, I know Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator. The Terminator is Arnold Schwarzenegger. But with a great script, great direction, great actors, you could move away, shift to another side of that universe and do something new. Like, they done it, McG done it, dabbled with it, you know, with Christian Bale front and centre as John Connor, who, he was alright. Sam Worthington's Terminator was fucking brilliant. Marcus Schreiter, I think it was called. He was great. And we had obviously this big CGI Arnie, which was, it was alright. Yeah, it was alright. What can you do? But yeah, I think the franchise could go without Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, I really do. And the good thing about it is, with motion capture and CGI and AI, there's a lot more better visual effects, so you could still involve Arnold Schwarzenegger at some point somewhere via motion capture, and it'll probably look a hell of a lot tighter than it did back in Salvation. Like, we got a CGI double of, or mocap double of Arnold Schwarzenegger's 1984 Terminator at the very start of Genesis, and it looked really good. Like, it really looked really good 10 years ago. As much as I hate that film, that looked good. So 10 years later, and I know CGI hasn't really, people are saying like CGI has gone like down the shitter in the last 5-10 years, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we need a Terminator 7? And if so, is it the best way to go is have James Cameron come back and writing it and possibly directing it, but he solely writes it. It is 100% his after he's finished with fucking about the 8-foot Smurfs. Yeah. Comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.